Hi everyone, welcome back. Inkwell Studio here with another ink sampling video. I've got in front of me 6 different ink samples from Cult Pens. This is one of their ink subscription boxes where you get 6 different inks with a particular theme. This month's theme for May 2025 is Purple Power, so no surprises, these are all going to be purple themed inks. So let's get started. The first one that I've got is a Dominant Industries Cult Pen exclusive called Dusk. You can see from the bottom of the bottle here, it is very heavy with shimmer particles, kind of gold, purpley, pinky shimmer there. I'm going to mix this up a little bit, try and agitate some of that. Now I find the best thing to do with shimmer particles is to gradually rotate, but in the interest of time I am going to shake here. It may cause some bubbles if you're filling your fountain pen. It's not great to have bubbles in there, but let's give it a go for the purposes of sampling. Get plenty on there. I'm going to try and get to the bottom as well, make sure I get plenty of shimmer particles hopefully, because they are settling quite quickly. And what I'm using today is a spoon. I tried this in the last video when I was sampling greens and it worked really well. I feel that it seems to keep the particles of ink on the paper a little bit more than you get with a cotton bud. My feeling with the cotton bud was that some of the heavier particles were maybe being picked up and you don't get the full sense of what the ink actually looks like on the page. So this is Dominant Industries. Cult Pens, Dusk. And I think the name's really fitting. If I just lift this up and show it to the camera, you've got some shimmer particles. Let's see what it looks like when it's dry. They're not massively heavy shimmer particles. It's not too thick with the shimmer. It's a lovely dusky purple colour. Let's pop that to one side. Next up we've got this Colorverse. Lovely little sample bottle, 5 milliliter sample called Antimatter. It's a lovely little bottle, but the neck of this bottle isn't going to be great for filling fountain pens. Fine for my dip pen, hopefully. But it comes in a little box, and the little box does have a pipette in there as well. Okay, so this is a bit more grey. Bit more monochromatic with hints of purple coming through. So Colorverse. Antimatter. Very good. And some nice shading with that one. It's more on the grey side. It's very muted purple. It does have purple tones to it. Yeah, quite a bit of shading, which is nice to see. And some colours coming out, separating, some reds and blues in amongst. Next up, we have a Cult Pens exclusive from Pennonia. This one's called Pansy. And from the bottle, this one looks like it's a lot bluer than the other ones, or at least the ones we've had so far. Yeah, really nice. So this colour really does remind me of those bluey purple pansies in your garden in spring and summer. just needs a yellow centre. So this one's Pennonia. Cult Pens exclusive. Pansy. Beautiful. So it's starting to dry, less of a blue is present and a bit of red is actually coming out. Magenta. Obviously we'll let all of these dry and then go through them with some close-ups. Next one I've got is Octopus Fluids, and this is Violet Parrot. So I think all of the Octopus Fluids animal themed inks, the write and draw ones, all of those are water resistant. I'm not sure if they're waterproof or just water resistant. We'll give it a go. So I think looking at the lineup in front of me, we have another one that might fit the same description. Okay, this one's more on the pink side of the purple spectrum. It's really nice with these Cult Pen subscription boxes that you get a really well curated variety of inks under the same theme, of course, but we've got some kind of grey muted tones. We've got more towards the blue end of the spectrum, the pinky red end of the spectrum. So Octopus, Violet Parrot. The next one, I kind of hinted at this one, this is Diamine Forever, so their Forever inks are recently released. Permanent inks, and I've heard good things. I really like the Diamine have released some permanent inks because there's not that many out there. Obviously there's Octopus and there's obviously some of the blacks and Noodler's inks are permanent. But it's probably fair to say there's a lack of variety in coloured permanent inks. This one is called Passion Flower. That's a really nice vibrant purple. If you watched any of my previous ink swatching videos, you'll know that I gravitate towards the more vibrant, saturated tones, and I don't think I'm going to be any different on purples. In fact, one of my favourite purples from looking back over my journal this year was one of the Diamine shimmerings. A purple pizzazz. So Diamine Forever. Passion Flower. I'm using my J. Haban glass dip pen. You'll notice that there's some variation. Depending on which side of a dip pen that I use, you can either get something that's quite fine or something that's a lot broader. Quite like it for that, but you have to know which side you're picking it up from. There's a slight curve in the end of it that sometimes gives it away. Next we've got another Diamine. This is Majestic Purple. Yeah, okay, another really nice saturated purple. And this one's a bit more like a squashed blackcurrant. I don't know if you get this in the US or other countries, but there's a drink called Ribena. If you spill Ribena, this is the kind of colour that you get. Majestic Purple. Beautiful. So that's all 6 inks. I'm going to let them dry. We'll come back and we'll go through them in their full glory when they're all fully dried, and I'll rank them back in 5. Okay, welcome back. These are more or less dried. There's a couple, I've got some patches that are still slightly damp, not necessarily wet, but I'll start from where I think we started off, which is the Dominant Industry Cult Pen exclusive Dusk. You can see quite I said to start off with the shimmer wasn't too heavy. It is actually quite heavy on this bit where the ink pulled. Really nice pinky purple shimmer coming through. Really nice colour actually. It's quite muted pastel, almost grey, but then where the shimmer particles are and the shading, that's coming through as more purple. Next we've got Colorverse Antimatter, and this is definitely more on the grey side. In fact, there's only a slight hint of purple, I think, actually coming through on this one. Again, really nice colour. Pennonia Cult Pens Pansy, that really nice bluey purple, vibrant, lovely. Next up, the Octopus Violet Parrot, and this has gone a colour which is a little bit like the sediment or leftovers of the bottom of your wine glass. When you've had a glass of wine and there's a few drops left, it goes quite thick and dries and goes a nice purpley. So this is kind of like, I guess, red grapes. But really nice. I do like that one. Diamine Forever, lots of shading on this one. More the mid purple. Writes really nicely with a dip pen. Quite impressed with that. And then last but not least, I think if I said that any of these represent purple to me, it definitely would be the Majestic Purple. It's a really nice, deep royal purple. There we go. I did say I was going to test out the ones that I think are waterproof or water resistant and just have a look to see what happens if I put some water on them. Now I've got some fresh water next to me. So if I just pop some drops on, let's see what happens. Okay, rub it in a little bit and just see if we get any feathering on the edge or any discoloration. And I don't think we have on either of those. So I think both of those are really water resistant. Just wipe this up. So some of the colour's coming off a little bit on the Octopus. And again, a little bit of colour is coming off on the Diamine. But I think they've held up pretty well. None of the ink actually came off with the water themselves, so if you left them to dry instead of rubbing them and smearing them, it could be that I've taken part of the top layer of paper off actually by rubbing over those. But yeah, I call those pretty permanent. That's a win in my book. But how would I rank these? Oh, it's really difficult because they're all so different, and I think it really depends on what kind of mood you're in and what kind of colours resonate with you on the day. For me right now, I think I would probably go the Majestic Purple. It's just very saturated, bright, vibrant, energetic. I really like that. I'd then probably go this Dominant Industries, because I'm really enjoying the kind of pinky, goldy sheen coming through on that, sat on top of the more grey, monochromatic purple. Then the rest of them, I think the Diamine Forever Passion Flower is a really nice purple. I like that it's permanent and I can see myself using that quite a lot. I think the Colorverse Antimatter, I'm I'm probably going to put last because it's more grey. In the theme of purples, it's a variation of grey. Let's put it that way. And then Octopus, Violet, Parrot, and the Pansy. But I think these are really strong together, and it's difficult to pick between them. But that's where I will put them. Don't forget to let me know in the comments which of these is your particular favourite. If you've got any purples in your collection that you want to recommend, feel free to do so. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again for the next fountain pen or ink sampling video. Thanks very much. Take care.